This document is the one that describes in detail how you want your assets to be handled during your life and after your death. It also explains who will be in charge of managing your assets in case you are incapacitated or passed away. It also plans for many different contingencies. Clients are always asking, how is the trust different from the will? In short, the will has to go through the court authentication process, which, depending on your family and assets, may take years and cost tens of thousands of dollars. This will authentication process is called probate. The trust is effective immediately. Unlike a will, which only takes effect after death, a trust operates during your lifetime and can continue afterwards, providing control and privacy that a will does not. By creating and funding your trust now, you can save your family from chaos in the future. Let's go through the specific provisions of this document. Article 1 sets the legal framework for the trust. It establishes that the laws of New York will govern the trust and identifies the trust by its formal name, ensuring it's recognized legally. This article also lists the grantor's family members, which helps clarify the context and intentions behind the trust. Article 2 deals with successor trustees. It specifies who will take over as trustee if the current trustee can no longer serve due to death, incapacity, or resignation, ensuring continuous management of the trust's assets. Article 3 outlines the powers retained by the grantor, such as the ability to amend, revoke, or modify the trust during their lifetime. This provides you with the flexibility to adapt the trust to changing circumstances or personal wishes. Article 4 addresses how the trust's assets can be distributed during the grantor's lifetime. The trustee can distribute income and principal to the grantor or at the grantor's direction, allowing for tailored financial support of both you and your loved ones, according to your needs. Upon the grantor's death, Article 5 states that the trust becomes irrevocable. This means no further changes can be made, and the trust must be administered according to the terms established, focusing on distributing assets and managing any obligations like taxes and expenses. Article 6 is the main purpose of this document. It explains how the trust's assets will be distributed after the grantor's death. It provides details on the distribution of personal property and other assets, ensuring that the grantor's wishes are respected and carried out. Article 7 explains that the trustee can be compensated for their work based on the statutory rates of the state of New York. It also provides that no posting of bond is necessary. It provides guidelines on the compensation, responsibilities, and legal protections for trustees, ensuring they are fairly treated while maintaining a high standard of responsibility in managing the trust. Article 8 includes spendthrift provisions that protect the trust's assets from the beneficiary's creditors, ensuring the trust's assets are preserved. Article 9 addresses how the trust's assets are managed and distributed to beneficiaries who are minors, including the specific age at which they get the money outright, as well as stipulations for their care, education, and general welfare until they reach adulthood. Article 10 creates a supplemental needs trust for beneficiaries with disabilities, ensuring they receive additional support without affecting their eligibility for government assistance. Even though you may not have any beneficiaries at this point that do have disabilities, you cannot predict the future. Therefore, this provision is necessary to protect from future disasters. Article 11 details conditions under which distributions to beneficiaries may be suspended if they struggle with substance abuse, emphasizing the protection of the trust's assets and the well-being of its beneficiaries. Similarly to the previous article, even if no one has these issues right now, unfortunately you cannot predict the future. You would rather have the flexibility in this trust to stop the distributions to an addicted beneficiary. Article 12 expands on the powers and duties of the trustee, outlining their authority to invest, manage, and distribute trust assets, ensuring they can effectively fulfill the trust's objectives. Article 13 encompasses various miscellaneous provisions that support the overall administration of the trust. This includes the Santa Claus provision, which allows for charitable bequests that reduce the New York State estate tax liability upon the grantor's death. Additionally, this article sets out terms for the maximum duration of the trust, affirming that each trust created under this document will terminate 21 years after the death of the last surviving beneficiary named under this trust. It also details the reliance that third parties can place on an affidavit or a certification of trust, thus protecting the confidentiality of the trust details while still enabling transactions. Article 14 introduces the role of a trust protector, who is appointed to oversee the trust's administration, particularly to ensure that the trust complies with legal standards and serves the best interests of the beneficiaries. The trust protector has the authority to amend the trust under certain circumstances, such as legal changes that affect trust administration or to correct any ambiguities. This role is designed to provide an additional layer of oversight and flexibility, ensuring that the trust remains effective and relevant over time. Furthermore, the article specifies the conditions under which the trust protector can operate, their compensation, and the process for their resignation or replacement. At the end, you will sign the trust, both as a grantor and the trustee. You only need a notary to witness your signature.